Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, as always, Miguel Magallon. And as always, President, Founder, CEO of Magallon Entertainment. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. And welcome back to another afternoon rant, another afternoon venting session, another afternoon ass-whooping session. So, once again, out here in front of my son's school, picking him up, waiting for the bell to ring. I always get here early because sometimes finding parking in front of these fucking schools is like a miracle. It's like, fuck, you got to come here like an extra 40, 50 minutes early just to find good parking. So I always show up early, ain't got shit to do. You know, my wife's been feeling sick lately. She went to the hospital earlier today because she just hasn't been feeling good at all, honestly. But, you know, they gave her some antibiotics and they told her to go fuck herself because, you know, most of these fucking hospitals and ER rooms, you know how it goes, man. Like, you go to these places and you take your kids there, you take your wife there, you go there when you're sick, and they're just like, you know, who the fuck are you? What's your name? What's your social? What's wrong? Okay, here's a fucking, you know what I mean? Here's a little stupid ass pill. There you go. Now get the fuck out. Next. So that's basically what they did to us this morning. And they basically just, you know, kicked her out and said, here you go. Here's some Tylenol. Just said, you know, fucking deal with it. I'm telling you, man, this this healthcare system, it's pretty funny sometimes, you know? And I'm not blaming the nurses, I'm not blaming the doctors, I'm not blaming like any of the staff. Honestly, I blame the system itself and how it's constructed, and I blame a lot of the budgets, you know? A lot of these hospitals, like, a lot of people don't understand this, but you know, you have to remember, like, hospitals, they're like, I understand you guys think hospitals are there to treat people. Fuck no, they're not there to treat people. Hospitals are a business, not a place to get better. Hospitals is where people go to die. Like, hospitals, like, I know you guys think, like, you know, philosophically speaking, like, you go to a hospital to get treatment, to get better, you know what I mean? To get the little, you know, medicina that they give you, and there you go, you're going to feel, you know, brand new again. But at the end of the day, like, the main priority of the hospital isn't to save people, it's to make money. Because if they don't make money, then they have to fire the doctors and the nurses. So I understand, like, they would like for you to get better, they would like for everything to be okay, but sometimes they can't give you the best treatment, or sometimes they can't give you the best medicine, or sometimes they can't give you the best, like, healthcare options, or the best treatment methods, or they can't give you the surgery that you really need. Because at the end of the day, it's not about, you know, what you need to make you feel better, or what you need to, you know, fix your underlying issue. At the end of the day, it's only about what your healthcare coverage is willing to cover or not. And if your healthcare coverage isn't willing to cover, you know, the cost of the medicine, or they're not willing to pay for the treatment, or they're not willing to pay for the surgery, or to pay, you know, for anything like that, then you're just not going to get it. So sometimes a lot of people, you know, they don't understand this. Like, they go into a hospital and they're like, you know, they think everything's going to be all right. They think everything's going to be okay. They think, I'm going to go into the hospital, I'm going to go into the ER room, and whatever's wrong with me, they're going to fix it, or they're going to give me the medicine that's going to fix it, and they're going to prescribe it to me. They're going to tell me what's wrong. And it's like, no, bro. Like, the doctor can only do so much. The nurses can only do so much. And most of them are underpaid and overworked. You know, I mean, I understand you guys think, like, oh, nurses and doctors, they make so much money. They do, but, like, have you seen their student loan debt? Have you seen their mortgages? Have you seen their credit card debt? No, I have, because I have clients who are doctors. I have clients who are nurses. I have, like, over probably 150 of my clients. Out of the 500 clients whose accounts that I manage and, like, I run personally on a day-to-day operation, the clients whose, you know, retirement funds that I actively manage every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, 365, like, my personal clients, out of the 500 of them, I'd say about over 150 work in the healthcare industry, in the healthcare system, right? They're doctors, they're nurses, pharmacists, you know, therapeutic, you know, people, like. And then I have a lot of people that, I have some clients who are like psychologists or psychiatrists. So I have clients that work in, like, every area of the healthcare system and the healthcare industry at large, whether it's like for physical health, whether it's mental health, whether it's for, you know what I mean, drug abuse counselors. I have a few of my clients work at counseling centers for like drug rehab centers, and they help like people who are like alcoholics, or people, you know, who are like meth heads, or people addicted to crack, or people with like different addictions and drugs and alcohol. And I have a lot of people that work as counselors at those drug rehabilitation centers. I have a lot of people who do physical therapy. I have a lot of people who do, I have one client who's a yoga instructor. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people, you know, whose money I manage and whose accounts I manage that basically work in different areas and different aspects of the healthcare industry. And a lot of them do work in hospitals. A lot of them work in clinics. A lot of them work in ERs, you know. And so I talk to a lot of these doctors. I talk to a lot of these nurses. I talk to a lot of the pharmacists. I talk to a lot of the mental health providers. I talk to a lot of the surgeons, right? And I understand, like, you know, a lot of you guys who don't have friends who are doctors, or you don't know anyone who's a nurse, or you don't know anyone who's a psychologist, psychiatrist, a pediatrician, right? Like, you guys don't really have a lot of friends in those jobs, but I do, because they're my clients. And I talk about, you know, obviously I'm going to talk to them about their finances, you know, whenever we get a chance to communicate. And a lot of these doctors I talk to, whether they're surgeons or they work in the ER, or they're a kids, you know, pediatrician, or, you know, they work as a paramedic, they work in the ER, they're a nurse, you know, a pharmacist. Like, I talk to these people about money. I talk to these people about their finances, and they'll tell me, like, yeah, I make, you know, $100,000 a year on paper. I make $150,000 a year. People like Dr. Anderson, shout out to Dr. Anderson out there in Texas. He makes like $450,000 to $550,000 a year as a cardiovascular surgeon. I think that's his official job title. And so people see that and they're like, oh man, these people are banking. These people are making so much money, so much moolah, so much feria, so much dinero, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but you guys act like they don't pay no taxes. You guys act like they just get all that shit like handed to them, like it's just free cash. Like, yo, first of all, they work hard as fuck, and they deal with a lot of bullshit at work just like anyone else does. Don't act like fucking working at a hospital is easy. There's a lot of stupid shit that goes on in hospitals too, and there's a lot of bitches that work in the hospital too, you know? There's always, like, it doesn't matter what job you work. There's always motherfuckers that think they're better than you. There's always people that think they're superior to you. There's always people that think that, you know, you're beneath them, or, you know, you don't rate shit, or, you know, they look down at you. That happens in every industry. It doesn't matter if it's real estate, doesn't matter if it's construction, doesn't matter if it's, you know, in hospitals, doesn't matter if it's in prison, doesn't matter if it's in the hood, doesn't matter if it's Wall Street, and it doesn't matter if you're out there in fucking TJ or somewhere in Mexico in the mountains of Sinaloa, you know, out there fucking gang banging with the cartel. It don't matter. Everywhere you go, whether it's fucking college, whether it's fucking community college, whether it's the fucking county jail, whether it's the fucking elementary school, the high school, the 4-year university, everywhere you go, you always see that. You know, some people who've been there longer think they're better than the people that just showed up just because they've been there longer. It's like, all right, bro, I get it. I understand you have more experience than me. I understand you've been working here longer, but that doesn't make you smarter. That doesn't make you better. You know, if you're so smart and you're so good, why are you still here? Why the fuck haven't you gotten out of here by now? How come you haven't retired early? How come you're not a millionaire? How come you still don't own your own house? How come you're drowning in credit card debt? How come you still got so much bills to pay? How come you haven't traveled the world? How come you don't got the Beamer, Benz, or Bentley? How come your wife looking broke and dusty as fuck? You know what I mean? Like, so I'll press some of these bitches. You know me, I don't give a fuck. Some of these little bitches, you know. I think I made a clip about this, probably release it sometime tonight. But I've talked about it, you know, in the past, like these middle class people, you know. A lot of people in the middle class and upper middle class, they think they made it, but they really haven't. You know what I mean? You're still a fucking financial slave just like anyone else. You just make more money, but it don't change the fact that, you know, you got shackles on your fucking ankles too. You're still a slave. You still have to go to work. You still have to show up at 4 a.m. You still have to work 6 a.m. You still have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week to pay all the bills. You still have to put up with bullshit too. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So it's, and I know it sounds ruthless, but yo, it's just like, it's a financial plantation. You know what I mean? And everyone's still working on their hands and fucking knees. But, you know, some people are out there on the fields picking the cotton and doing all the hard labor. And then some people are in the house serving the master. And the people in the house, in the big house with the white man working for the master, they think they made it just because they're not in the field no more working hard labor. But bitch, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to my man Andre out there in San Bernardino. He was the one who was telling me about this. He was like, he works at the Amazon warehouse out there in San Bernardino. Like I think somewhere around there's like an Amazon warehouse, and he works there. And he was telling me like some of the people that work, in management, and the people that work in like the corporate offices, like they look down at like the Amazon delivery drivers. Like they look down on them like, oh, all you do is deliver the package, but my job's more important because I'm the one that has to work logistics, and I have to do this and I have to do that. And Andre got pissed off one day, and he's like, bitch, like that don't make you better than me, like, you know what I mean? And he told him, he's like, I think he almost got fired for this, but he told him, whoever it was he was beefing with, he was like, you still a nigga, bro. Like, you a nigga just like me. We both working here at the same company making Jeff Bezos richer. Don't act like you fucking better than me, bro. Just because you in the big house now don't mean you still ain't a nigga. Like, And I was dying when he told me that. And he's like, yo, General, I swear to God on my mom, bro. I told that motherfucker, like, yo, we all just a bunch of niggas here making these fucking people richer. You really want to make it out this motherfucker, you got to buy Amazon stock. You know what I mean? Because we out here working and slaving all fucking day delivering these stupid-ass packages for people who are ungrateful as fuck, And you know what? We're working all day to make this company bigger. We're working all day to make this, company grow. We're working all day to make this company more profitable. But, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't do anything for us. Like, they're not paying us shit. It's just barely enough to pay our fucking bills, pay our rent. You know what I mean? Like, the General will be saying on his podcast, like, all we doing is, barely making enough to fucking survive. But it's not a fucking long-term solution. It's not a way out. I'm not going to get to where I want to, make it to in life just working at Amazon all fucking day my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, we all know they're going to fucking build robots, and Elon's already building these motherfuckers, so eventually they're going to fucking build all these robots, and then the trucks are going to drive themselves, and now Amazon's investing in drones, so the drones can deliver the package instead of people. Like, all it is just a matter of time, bro. And eventually, like, we're going to be asked out of a job. We're not going to have any work, because, they're already looking to replace us. Let's not act like we're fucking family. Fuck no. We're just fucking, we're just related for now. We're just the hoe right now. But, we're the main squeeze today, but we're the leftovers tomorrow. So, shout out to my man Andre out there, San Bernardino, man. He's a real one of my favorite VIP subscribers in the country. But he keeps it real, and he went off on his supervisor like, bro, don't act like you guys up here in the office like are better than us. Stop acting like you guys fucking made it. You haven't, bro. You drive he said you drive a busted ass fucking Honda just like the rest of us, bro. Like, we all know where you live, bro. It's not even your house. It's your fucking in-laws' house. They're just letting you live there. It's not even yours, bro. Like, and he put his supervisor on blast in front of everybody. But then the supervisor came down and had to handle shit because, I ain't gonna lie, Andre was about to whoop his ass in the fucking meeting. I'm telling you, shit like that happens, though, in the workplace. Because some of you guys, man, supervisors be thinking they can get away with shit. Supervisors be thinking they can talk to their employees any fucking way they want just because you're the employee and they're the supervisor. They act like they're fucking God in that bitch. Like, bro, calm the fuck down. You're just a fucking, mid-level supervisor. You don't even make that much more money than us, bro. Like, calm down, bro. Chill. You're like, like Andre said, bro, you still a nigga like the rest of us. You just made it to the big house. That's the only difference, bro. I was fucking dying when he said that shit. So, but anyways, it's true though. Like, going back to like, doctors and nurses and lawyers and, pharmacists and counselors and fucking all these people, like, I understand sometimes these people make a lot of money. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes, like, they act like they're superior and they act like they be, getting paid like that. But a lot of them aren't, and like, I see a lot of people, like, they make $100,000, $150,000 a year, but they be acting like they're getting paid millions. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see that? Like, dude makes like 100, 120, 150 a year, but he want to act like he making $500,000 a year. Like, bro, calm down. Calm down, bro. First off, $100,000, $100,000 a year ain't even what it used to be. You know what I mean? It used to be, guys, $100,000 a year. Back in the day, you made $100,000 a year. You was motherfucking paid. You was making bank. You had all the fucking bread. Back in the day, you made $100,000 a year. Shit, you was getting all the bitches. You was getting anything you wanted. Fucking lobster and steak every single night. Bad bitches is the only thing that you like. You was popping bottles. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, you made $100,000 a year. You made it, bro. Now you make $100,000 a year. What Andre say? He's just a nigga like the rest of us. I'm sorry, man. Oh, that shit's funny as fuck when he said that. Yo, Andre, man, I'm gonna hit you up after this, after I get done recording this. That shit had me laughing the whole fucking day. I told my wife that story. She was laughing in the fucking ER. We're over there, my wife's in pain and shit, and I'm over here making her laugh. Because that shit's funny. But, it's just not that much money. I know people in New York that make $200,000 a year. Is $200,000 a year really a lot of money in New York? No. I know people who make $300,000 a year in San Francisco. Is $300,000 a year really a lot of money in San Francisco? Not really. It's enough to get a fucking studio apartment. That's about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like, it's just funny. You got some people, they progress just a little bit in life. They work their ass off for like 5, 10, 15 years. They get one little fucking promotion. They get bumped up to supervisor. They get that one fucking small promotion, and all of a sudden they think they're a big man. Now all of a sudden they think they made it. Now all of a sudden they think they're a boss, and it's like, bro, calm the fuck down, bro. Like, you still live with your mom, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, and you don't even get paid that much more than us, And honestly, it's sad because, you would think if you work for a company for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and all you did was get one promotion, like, honestly, is that really something to brag about? Like, if anything, I'd be walking around embarrassed, like, fuck. Like, they want to walk around like, yeah, you little 20-year-old motherfuckers, y'all don't know shit, okay? Y'all ain't been around like me. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be like you. You're fucking 40 and you're still poor. Like, oh, I try to be like you. I'd rather be like this guy, be like that guy, be, like, whoever the fuck you guys want to be in life, It's like, but these guys, they be over here, I'm telling you, man, they be flexing, and they be flexing hard as fuck. Like, they have all the answers. They have all the solution. They fucking, they made it out the Matrix. I'm like, bro, how the fuck did you, how are you going to say you fucking figured out the Matrix, but you still here on the plantation like the rest of us? Fuck is you talking about right now, bro? So, anyways, I just wanted to share that little rant right there, because that shit pisses me off. That shit, like, frustrates the shit out of me. So, anyways, I'll probably talk about that more on the podcast, because I see a lot of people like that, even now. Like, the economy's getting worse, and people are losing their job, and Amazon's laying off, like, 10,000 people, right? And then people want to be like, oh, that sucks for them. Yeah, they probably should have picked a better career. And I'm like, bro, you ain't special. You're not a millionaire. You ain't multi yet. Bro, like, I get it. You have, like, $100,000 in your account, but let's not pretend like $100,000 in your account is enough for you to retire. Let's not pretend like $100,000 a month in your account, you don't have to work again the rest of your life. Like, you still gotta fucking be patient. You still have to wait, for stocks to go back up again. You know what I mean? Like, you're still, You still have to go to work on Monday. Let's not pretend like you're that much better off than everyone else. But there's a lot of people in the middle class and upper middle class, and they think they already made it. They think because they're closer to the finish line than you, that automatically means that they're going to get there before you. And it's not true. It's not true at all. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people in the middle class and upper middle class, they stay there forever. They actually never become rich, because they get a little bit of taste of the good life. And instead of staying focused and staying committed and keep buying more investments and more assets and more investments and more assets and more investments and more assets, only half of them do it. The half of them that keep, like, whatever they did to become middle class and upper middle class, whatever they did to get there, half of them will keep reinvesting their money, reinvesting the money. And those are the ones that become millionaires. Those are the ones that go multi. Those are the ones that become whales and mega whales. Those are the ones that go from $500,000 net worth to $50 million net worth. Those are the ones that fucking, They're going on fucking private planes to the Bahamas. They're taking fucking trips every single month to fucking Cancun. They're the ones that go fucking on family vacations to Italy and Paris and Europe. Those are the ones that take random weekends off and they'll just go out to fucking, Brazil or Jamaica or Cancun or fucking, Peru, fucking Puerto Rico, you know what I mean? And they'll just spend their entire summer there, because they don't really have to work anymore. Their money works for them. They made it off the plantation. You know what I mean? Now they're a free man. They're financially free. They're financially independent. They do what the fuck they want when the fuck they want because they write their own motherfucking paycheck, Those are the ones that actually achieve fucking true freedom. But all the other people in the middle class, those motherfuckers, they don't learn. They get a little bit of taste of the good life. They get a little bit of taste of that champagne life. They get, take a few shots of Patron here, a few shots of tequila there. You know what I mean? They get a little bit of that good life. And you saw that during the pandemic. Motherfuckers get a little bit of taste of what extra money feels like. They get a little bit of stimmy in their life. And now all of a sudden they get used to it. And instead of staying aggressive, instead of staying committed, instead of staying dedicated and investing and keep investing, keep progressing, keep going forward, they're like, nah, we good here, bro. I'm good. I don't even need to go further, bro. I'm good right here. And they get complacent. And that's why a lot of people in the middle class and upper middle class, they never leave middle class or upper middle class. They stay there forever because they don't want to keep putting an extra few years of hard work or an extra few years of sacrifices. Instead, they make a little bit of extra money and they start stacking up a lot more fucking debt, because now all of a sudden they don't want to keep making those daily sacrifices, if they can afford, a little bit of luxury, and I know it's hard, but the problem is once you start taking a little bit of luxury here and a little bit of luxury there, now all of a sudden there's no money going into your investments, no money going to buying more assets. Now you just become stuck and you become stagnant. You become complacent. And that's why a lot of people in the middle class and upper middle class, they'll never become millionaires and they'll never fucking retire. They'll keep working until they're 65, 75, 85. And you see it because, again, I got to go grocery shopping later this week. I'll go back to Costco or, if I just need like one or two things, I'll pop into like Walmart or Target or, wherever the fuck. And every time we go to these places, doesn't matter where we go, we'll go into these places and what do you see? People at the cash register, fucking 50, 60, 70 years old, and guess what? They're still there. Why? Because they're not financially free yet. They're not financially independent. They haven't made it off the plantation. They still need to work. They still have debt that needs to get paid, and they don't have enough investments or enough passive income that can pay for that without them having to work still a 9 to 5, So don't get that shit confused. So, my man Andre's right. Like, these motherfuckers aren't better than you, like some of them think they are, but they're really fucking not. You know what I mean? They think just because they're closer to the finish line that guarantees they're going to get there. What they don't realize is half the people that are at the halfway point, half of those people never make it to the end. They just stay there and they just keep, running in the same place in life. And they never make it past the halfway point. And then all those people that they used to make fun of, 2-3 years later, all of a sudden they're lapping them and they're flying by them. And then they're just stuck there at the same fucking place in life. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even going to say it's sad. I'm going to say it's funny. Like, good, bitch. That's what you get. And I think that's the moment a lot of you guys are waiting for. You guys are waiting for your investments to pay off over time and all this investing we've been doing on the podcast for the last 2-3 years to pay off over time. And then when you get to that place where you don't have to work anymore, you can do what what I always told you guys to do. Walk into your supervisor's office and let him know you're not coming into work ever again, then he could eat a bag of fucking dicks, And I know you guys are waiting for that moment. I know you guys are fucking waiting for that fucking moment. So it'll come, guys, it'll come. So anyways, though, but yeah, I don't blame these nurses and doctors, you know what I mean? Because again, even a lot of these people in the middle and upper class, the doctors, the nurses, the lawyers, the pharmacists, the counselors, the this, the that, the fucking super manager, the superintendent or whatever. Like, a lot of these people, like, some of them do make good money. A lot of them do make a lot of money. You know what I mean? I told you, like, I know I have over 150 clients right now who work in the healthcare industry in some way or another. Whether they're an ER nurse, whether they're an ER doctor, whether they work as a mental health provider, whether they work as a a therapeutic specialist, whether they're a fucking surgeon, whether they're a fucking, what's it called? The eyes, nose, and ears doctor. Some of them work in like different like areas of specialty, like radiology and shit like that. I have clients that work everywhere in the healthcare system and in different parts of the hospital. And I can tell you, yeah, that most of them do make 150,000 a year. Some of them make 250,000 a year, and some of them make 350,000 a year. That's true. But you guys act like they don't pay taxes. You guys act like they didn't have to go to school for like 8, 10 years for that shit. Have you guys seen their student loans? I have, because I asked them like, okay, how much money can you put into your account every month? How aggressive do you want me to be when I manage your account every single month? What are your goals right now financially? And we'll have those conversations over dinner. We'll have them over the weekend. They'll come over and we'll have these conversations one-on-one. And, there'll always be a time where I ask them, like, how much money do you make a month? How much money do you make every pay period? How much money do you make every paycheck? How much of it goes to taxes? How much does it go to your rent? How much, mortgage, credit cards, student loans, child support, whatever your case may be. A lot of them, are divorced now, and so they pay alimony. You know what I mean? Like, and I ask them, like, what's your monthly budget look like? How much money do you make every month, and how much do all your bills add up to every month? And are you working on a deficit? Are you working at a surplus? How much disposable income do you have at the end of every single month? And so you guys will say, oh, well, they probably have a lot of, extra money because, they make 150, 250, 350,000 a year. And I'm like, yeah, but in places like California and New York, that shit ain't shit. Because between the federal tax and the state tax, they're going to take damn near half your fucking paycheck. And then after that, you got to pay your student loans, which is like an extra $2,000-3,000 a month. Because to go to med school is like fucking $300,000, $400,000 almost. To go to law school is at least $250,000, especially in places like California. You want a master's degree, you want a PhD. That shit ain't fucking free, guys. That shit's expensive as fuck. And unless you're getting that shit paid for by like the VA or the state or the government, or you got a full ride scholarship that's just going to pay for everything, which is only like 1% of people, then what are the other 99% of people doing? They're pulling student loans. So, I get it. You guys think like, they're getting paid, and a lot of them are, because they went to the extra schooling, they got the masters, they got the bachelors, and most of them did start off at a community college, right? They did the journey that I did, right? And, now they got the PhD, now they got the master's, now they got the law degree, now they got the med school license, you know what I mean? Now they have their fucking certification to work in pharmacy, But that shit took years and that shit took time. And you know what? They had to pull a lot of student loans, across the way. Whether it's 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. I've seen some student loans as big as 500 and 600,000. So yeah, best believe me, guys, these fucking student loan payments are fucking massive. Do you understand how big a monthly student loan payment is on a $600,000 motherfucking dollar student loan? $600,000 student loan. Do you understand how massive that motherfucking payment is every single month? And no matter what, you always have to pay it the rest of your life because not even bankruptcy will clear that shit. Do you guys understand the fucking, the seismic amount of debt we're talking about here? So, but you guys don't see that. All you see is the Range Rover in the parking lot. All you see is the Tesla plugged in charging. All you see is the Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. All you see is the Rolls Royce. And it's great, because again, they have this thing called disposable income, so they can do shit like that, And, it's not their fault they went to school and some of you guys dropped out. I mean, what do you want me to say, right? But at the same time, like, you think that fucking Mercedes-Benz payment is cheap? You think that fucking, that Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, you think those car payments are cheap? You think the Audi is cheap? You think the Range Rover is cheap? You think the Tesla's cheap? Fuck no. That shit, you know that shit costs a couple racks. You know that shit costs a couple racks every month. With the car insurance? No mames. Sheesh. You know that shit costs a lot. So by the time they're done paying the rent / mortgage, whether they own a house or not, most of them do, right? So by the time they're paying the mortgage, then they got to pay the credit card debt, then they got to pay that $2,000-3,000 student loan, then they probably have a $2,000-3,000 car payment with an extra $500 to $1,000 for the fucking car insurance. Then they got to pay for this, then they got to pay for that. Taxes already took half off the top automatic, So, a lot of them, they make good money and all, but let's not act like they got fucking $100,000 to spend just whenever they want, So, You know, that's why I have to manage their money for them, because a lot of them are like, yo, General, I got a lot of fucking debt, and, you know, I don't want to have to just work the rest of my life just to pay off that debt. I'd rather my money start working for me now, and then I want my money to make more money, that makes more money, that makes more money, and then my money pays off the debt. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay off my student loan. I want Bob to pay off my student loan. I don't want to pay my student loan. I want Jeff Bezos and Amazon stock to pay off my student loan. I don't want to pay my student loan. I don't want to pay my credit cards. I don't want to pay my mortgage. I want Amazon. I want Tesla. I want Google. I want Apple. I want motherfucking Bitcoin to pay my mortgage. I want Bitcoin to pay off my Tesla. I want Tesla stock and Elon Musk. I want Tesla stock to pay for my fucking Tesla. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I want to own so much Apple stock that the money they pay me in dividends pays for me to get a new iPhone every single year for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of shit they're on. So that's why I say, though, like, those are the only people in the middle class and upper middle class that I'll take on as a client. Motherfuckers that, like, are worth it. Motherfuckers who are savages. Motherfuckers who are ruthless. Motherfuckers who are committed, dedicated, disciplined, all fucking in. Those are the ones that I'll take on as clients. Those are the ones I'll take on as maxed out VIP subscribers. Those are the ones I know are going to be ride or die. Because those are the ones that actually figured out, like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I might have made it out the field, but I'm still on the plantation. And if I don't fucking figure out a long-term solution, you know, I might not go back to the field working hard labor, but I'm still going to be working this 9 to 5. Yeah, it pays me more money and they treat me better and it comes with benefits and da-da-da-da-da. But it doesn't change the fact that if I don't start investing my money, it's going to take me 30, 40 years to pay off the student loan, to pay off the mortgage, to pay off the credit cards, you know, and I'm going to be working, and I might make all this money, but I'll never be able to enjoy it. You know, some of you bits like, oh, you know, if I just made more money, I'd be able to enjoy my life more. If I just made more money, you know, I'd be able to travel more. If I made more money, you know, things would just be better more. Not really, because you'd still be working all fucking day, 9 to 5. You would get no time off. Ask some of these doctors, ask the nurses, ask the pharmacists, ask a lot of the people that work in the healthcare industry. They might make a boatload of money. Talk to any of these fucking lawyers and attorneys and paralegals. Talk to these people, man. I know, because they're my clients. I talk to them on a daily basis. Yeah, they make a shitload of money, but they work a shitload of hours too. You guys act like they just show up at 9 and they be dipping out at 12. Fuck no. You know who does? The guy who owns the beach home and the beachfront property in Hawaii. The guy who owns that beachfront property in San Diego. The guy who owns that the person who owns that big ass mansion somewhere in New York. Those people, the real millionaires, the real fucking billionaires, the motherfuckers that went multi, those are the people that could show up to work at 9 a.m., dip out at 12 because the stock market closed, and they cash out another $200,000 in a day. Want to know how I know? Because I've seen it. I've seen people with a $20 million portfolio. They're only up 1% for the day. Think about this. $20 million portfolio, right? Because I just seen this like a few days ago. A Magallon had a $20 million portfolio, and I asked him how his day was. And he texted me back a screenshot of his portfolio. On a I have this picture right now on my phone if anyone wants to see it. I'm so dead ass about this. $20 million. Actually, $23 million. But he had a $20 million portfolio. He was up 1% for the day. 1%. That's it. It ain't like he fucking had like all these runners and gunners and all this other shit and all these fucking meme stocks and all these cryptos. Fuck no. Motherfuckers invested in Apple and Amazon and Costco and all the basic shit, right? He's just invested in blue chip companies, right? Because he doesn't want to deal with the volatility. He just wants safe shit. But every now and then he likes to throw his money on like, you know, stocks that could run one day. And that's what he calls me for. He asks me, yo, General, what's a good stock that could run one day? And I'll be like, boom, this one, boom, that one, boom, this one, boom, that one. And he's like, boom, say no mas. And he'll drop 100,000 into each one of them, right? So that's why he talks to me. But other than that, he's mostly just investing in like, you know, safe shit that he knows going to be, you know, big over time. So, you know, a couple days ago, I hit him up and I was like, how was your day today, right? And he texted me a screenshot of his portfolio. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy was up 1% for the fucking day, I swear to God. But because he has $20 million in his account, 1% of 20 million is how much? 200,000. So even though he was only up 1%, he was actually up $200,000 in his portfolio that day because his portfolio had 20 million. But 1% of 20 million is 200,000. I think it was actually up more than that. He was up like a quarter mil. Like I think like 200, I think it was like 270, maybe 280,000, something like that. It was up like 270, almost 280,000 in one day. You know? But these are the type of guys that, you know what I mean? Like, those are the people that can show up to work at 9, leave by fucking 12, and go to the beach and go surfing all day, and take their kids to fucking Disneyland all day, and people that could do what the fuck they want to do all day, right? Because those are the real motherfuckers that made it. But all these other people, middle class, upper middle class, they think they made it. They act like they made it. They be walking around like they made it. But bitch, they still at work at fucking Monday morning at 6 a.m. They still working that same fucking, beat ass 9 to 5 job. You know what I mean? They still have to fucking, they still have to, what is it? They still have like a manager. They still have a supervisor that they have to fucking report to. You know what I mean? Like, just because they're above you doesn't mean there's no one above them. You know what I mean? Again, all they did was make it from the fucking field to the big house. But guess what? What Andre say? You still a nigga for life in the eyes of the company, right? Because Jeff Bezos don't care if you're management. Jeff Bezos don't care if you're fucking middle class. Jeff Bezos don't care if you're fucking, working at corporate now. In his eyes, all you is, Andre, back me up on this. What are you? In Jeff Bezos' eyes, what are you? A fucking employee number, right? Like, that's all you are. So, but that's why, like, sometimes these middle class people, that's how I know who's going to become a whale and who's not. Sometimes, I think I made a clip about this recently too. Like, that's how I know who's going to become a whale and who's not. That's how I know who's destined to become a millionaire and who's going to stay poor forever. Who's going to stay poor their whole life. That's how I know who's going to go multi and who's just going to stay where they are, running in the same place in life, never going anywhere. Because some people, when they get to middle class, upper middle class, like, they're happy because they finally got there, and they work like 5 to 10 years to get there, going through school, education, learning, certificates, doing all these programs and shit. And now they're finally in a place where they make 100,000, 150,000, 250,000, 350,000. And I'm not gonna lie, that is a lot of money, right? Even, yeah, I get it. They have a lot of taxes and fucking student loans, monster student loans at that, and they have a lot of shit, they got to pay for. But it's still a lot of money. You know what I mean? And the difference is between a future whale and a person that's just going to stay middle class and never fucking become one is the ones that make it there, half of them will keep reinvesting and they'll keep buying assets and they'll keep putting their money towards investing. And yeah, they'll go out on the weekends and they'll take a vacation here and there and they'll buy something nice for themselves once in a while. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you shouldn't do that or you can't do that. But what they're doing is spending the bulk of their disposable income and they're reinvesting. And then the other fucking babosos, they get, like, what I say? A little taste of that champagne life, a little taste of that good life. All of a sudden they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to reinvest. Fuck that shit. I'm trying to get fucked up in Vegas this weekend. Fuck that shit. I'm trying to go fucking bar hopping this weekend, bro. Fuck that shit. I'm trying to go here. I'm trying to go there. I'm trying to go everywhere. I'm trying to fuck this bitch. Trying to fuck that bitch. Trying to fucking do this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. You know what I mean? And fuck it. If this, if this bad bitch wants something, I'm going to buy her something too, And I'm not saying you can't do that. I mean, again, what do they have? Disposable income. So they can do that shit. The problem is that's how they stay middle class their whole life and they never go multi. They never, graduate and go to that next level, that next stage in life. They just stay middle class forever. So I know some clients, they've been middle class for like 5 years and now their accounts are like 800, 900,000 and they're about to become the first millionaires in their family. And then I know other people, they became middle class like 10 years ago and they barely have 100,000. And it's like, bro, but you've been middle class for almost 10 years. You know what I mean? I have some subscribers, they're not even middle class themselves and they're almost above 100,000. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, bro, how the fuck do you make like 5 times more money than this other guy and his portfolio is bigger than yours? What the fuck? You're like, obviously you fucking up, bro. You fucking up, my boy. No way to put it. Fucking up, my guy. So, yeah, something to be mindful of. What else? What else I was gonna say? I think that was it for this clip. I thought it was a good rant today. So, anyways, everyone's showing up to school now. Pick up their fucking busted ass fucking day kids, all their fucking oopsie babies, all these stupid ass parents showing up. Some of these parents, I can't stand some of these parents. You know what I mean? Like, same thing. You know, like I was saying, some people think they like middle class, and some people act like some people make like 150,000 a year, but they act like they're making 550,000 a year. Like some people act like they got it better than they really do. You know, like you guys know, you guys see people like this. You guys know who I'm talking about. Well, this motherfucker, you know, one fucking mom just pulled up. She's one of those bitches that always like brag about like how great their life is. And then I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Like, you know, they have like nice cars and, you know, a nice house, you know, but then like whenever their kids need something or whenever like family's in trouble or whenever something happens, they don't have money for it, you know? And so it was just like, it was crazy, you know, cause, you know, I don't like to put people's stories out there, you know, unless they're a bitch, then I'll fucking put them on blast all day. And I'm staring at this bitch right now. She just pulled up in her new fucking SUV. And one time, her and her husband were telling me, like, oh, yeah, you know, the mother-in-law or whatever, something happened, and, you know, she got kicked out of her apartment, so she had nowhere to stay. So we're just going to have her stay with us for now, and then, you know, we'll see what we do. We'll try to, you know, we'll let her stay here for a while, and then we'll let her save up her little bit of money, and then hopefully she can, you know, move out again. And I was like, yeah, but if you really made it like that, why can't you just buy her a house? Oh, that's different. Oh, there's levels to that shit, General, huh? Because I know some people, again, middle class, because they reinvest their money and they save their money and they keep buying assets and investments. I know some people that literally, once they fucking became millionaires, they didn't just buy themselves a house. They bought their mom a house. They bought their dad a house. They bought their brother a house. They bought their sister a house. Would I tell you who's my favorite young millionaire in the country? And I'll finish the podcast off with this because I got to go pick up my kid. But, yo, who's my favorite millionaire? Who's my favorite young millionaire in the entire country? Shout out to my boy Nathan out there, man, out there in Cali. 24 years old, already rocking a 15, 16, 17, $18 million portfolio. He's 24 fucking years old. You guys want to listen to the story? You guys want to hear the story? Pop on the fucking clip. You guys have it in your inbox. You have it on your email. It's called My Favorite Young Millionaire in the Entire Fucking Country. He is my favorite young millionaire in the country. He's only 24 years old. And he's probably going to have a $25 million portfolio by the time he's 25 years old. He fucking gets it. He fucking made it. And he's a fucking killer, ladies and gentlemen. He's patient. He's cutthroat. He's ruthless. And he will fucking wait for the perfect opportunity to pull the fucking trigger. He does not hesitate, but he does not fucking hurry. He will be patient. He will be disciplined. And he will wait. And when that fucking opportunity presents itself, he'll squeeze that fucking trigger. So you guys want to know who my favorite young millionaire in the country is and why? Listen to that clip, my favorite young millionaire. Shout out to my boy Nathan out there in Cali. He became a multi-millionaire, 2-3 years ago? First thing he did, bought his mom a house, bought his dad a house, bought his brothers a house, bought his sister a house, and he brought a fucking playhouse for him and all his friends just to fucking party in and fuck bitches in. And that's what he does. He owns like 5-6 houses now, all under his name. And he's only 24 years old. You know, you guys want to know how he did it? Listen to the clip, my favorite young millionaire. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys. You know, I hope this clip and this session puts some things into perspective. And, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope, you know, I hope it balanced you guys out. And again, put things in perspective. And I hope it motivates you. I hope it inspires you. And you know what I mean? And I hope it fucking fuels you. Because at the end of the day, your main priority in life has to be, you know, becoming the person you always said you wanted to be, becoming the person you always wanted to be, and becoming the person that you still need to be, not just for you and your future, but eventually for your family's future, for your family's legacy, for your family's dynasty. Because here at Magallon Entertainment, it's not just about personal wealth, it's about generational wealth. Here at Magallon Entertainment, we don't leave behind family debt. We leave behind a family fucking legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for listening to the one, the only, the motherfucking general. You already know what time it is. Thank you guys for listening to Magallon!